Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today we're going to be doing a quick update on Jasmy, just because I want to essentially, we've seen a pretty strong pullback in the market, and with this strong pullback in the market, obviously Jasmy has come down a little bit, but what we are seeing in the chart I think is pretty clear to say, like we're looking pretty good overall, and so I'm actually really quite happy with the strength that the Jasmy chart has been showing as we've seen so much volatility coming back around. I think over the past several months we'd seen probably a degree of sluggishness or kind of like Jasmy being like a lagging performer on the overall crypto market, and I would say that that's probably changed in a pretty positive way, and so I want to talk a little bit more about that. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in. Starting out, let's look at the crypto bubbles. What we can see on the crypto bubbles today is everything is down about 10% on the market overall, and so things looking pretty rough, I would say. We can see BGB is actually the only one that's actually positive in the market. Everything else is down, like I said, about 10%. We can see Jasmy here down 10%. We can see ICP about 8.5%. Virtual is down 5%. Hyperliquid 10%. Ethereum about 8%. Tau 10%. So I mean, overall, I think things not looking super great on the day. We can see though on the week everything pretty positive still. The only ones flipping negative on the week, kind of the most noteworthy being Virtuals. We'll probably make a video about that maybe tomorrow, I would say. Virtuals has been hit pretty hard on their chart, and so we'll obviously look a little bit into that, but otherwise we can see a lot still up and up pretty big for the week overall. If we do go and we look at the Jasmy chart, let's actually zoom in on this and blow this up to full screen. We can see things looking pretty good. I mean, volumes looking pretty strong overall. We can see RSI looking pretty good. We could see when we saw that massive spike up here, we did see that Jasmy went way into the overbought on RSI, getting up to over 90, which is pretty impressive given that overbought is going into about 70. So when we saw this, obviously, a really strong run, but RSI going up very, very high. But what we can see since then is we were kind of looking at following this like descending trend line. We did recently break out of that, go up to this level of resistance. We got rejected a couple times by it, and now obviously with kind of the mass sell-off that everything has been seeing today, we did see a pretty nice sell-off coming back down below 3.5 cents at this point. We are also below the midpoint of the Bollinger Bands. So I think we've kind of returned about to average. We could see here, especially on this pump where we made it to about 4.1 cents, we did break outside of the Bollinger Bands. And as I've explained, when we kind of get outside the Bollinger Bands, you're going to be coming in, probably within the next 3 to 5 candles, absolute maximum. Usually it's anywhere between kind of like 1 to 3. But if there's a point of like ultra bullishness, like we saw here, it can be more than just a couple sometimes. But again, that's very, very rare. What we can see here also is something very interesting is the Bollinger Bands are starting to kind of squeeze in a little bit. Usually when we see Bollinger Bands squeeze like this, we are bound to see a period of volatility. Given kind of the overall situation that the crypto market is in, I would expect that, maybe we continue to see these squeeze even a little bit more, kind of go down, see something kind of like what we were seeing back here in like the end of October. And then obviously we saw a really strong breakout, but what we are seeing obviously is a pretty strong point of consolidation. This consolidation level, though, of course, being well above what we were seeing as a consolidation level even just a couple months back, which is of course what we're always looking for. And things looking really good here. Overall, just kind of what we're seeing, Jasmy looking in a really strong spot. Like I said, obviously we've got a pretty nice red candle here, so not always the best news, but in my opinion, given the fact that we have seen over 10% corrections just on the day, as we saw on the crypto bubbles, in my opinion, this is a really good chart that we're looking at. Things looking really strong. We can see, still sitting really kind of at the midpoint of where we've been consolidating over the past even like about 3-4 weeks at this point. So, obviously that's looking really good. Our consolidation level is well above even the highs of what we were seeing kind of prior to this breakout. So things looking really good from that perspective as well. The Bollinger Bands are starting to kind of close in a little bit again, which again, really good to see. So I think we are kind of priming up for what we could see is another really strong move to the upside. And maybe we see, kind of something like what we saw here, lower high, higher low, or I guess higher high, higher low. We got a higher high, higher low here. This means we could be seeing our next breakout and getting us to a point of 9, 10, 11, 12 cents, which of course, would be really good for what all of us are hoping for our Jasmy investment. So, things I think looking really strong here. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, things like that. But overall, I think kind of what we're seeing right now looking really, really strong. There has not been a whole bunch of Jasmy news. We haven't heard too much from the Binance Innovation Zone. That's been something that we've been keeping a close eye on. Haven't seen anything from that yet. Overall, we haven't seen too much from the Jasmy team. Obviously, we had the news of them working with Sony, which is always, good to see and good to hear, but nothing too noteworthy, I guess, coming out as of recently. A lot of what we've seen so far is just looking at the chart, seeing kind of the movement and price action, all that type of stuff that we have seen going on the chart lately. Chart looking, like I said, and like we just barely went over, absolutely fantastic if you ask me. I'm very, very encouraged by what we're seeing here. I think things looking really, really strong. I'm very pleased, with all the things that the Jasmy has going for it. Jasmy is kind of leaned into the AI type of offering that they've been wanting to do through JANCTION. Obviously, AI has been going absolutely nuts recently. I think that's very well positioned. Obviously they've been working at that for months, so things looking really, really good there as well. Overall, like I said, I'm very, very pleased and very encouraged with what we're seeing out of the Jasmy team, out of the Jasmy chart, a lot of that type of stuff right now. Right now, I think we just need to be patient. We could see, we've kind of been hovering right around that 4-cent range until we just saw that recent rejection. Now we're at about 3.5 cents. Maybe we take another run up at the 4-cent range and potentially maybe we can flip that level of resistance into a level of support, and then we're kind of bouncing between like the 4 to like 4.75 cent range. So overall, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and a subscribe, because it really, really does help me out. Also, if you have any comments on what your thoughts are about Jasmy, I know a lot of you who watch the channel fairly consistently are huge Jasmy fans. You are probably as excited as I am by what we're seeing in the chart, but if you have something that you're seeing that you're not liking or you're nervous over or whatever, feel free to drop those in the comment section below. I do try to read and respond to all of my comments, so if you have anything that you want me to see, that'd be a really great way to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.